All right. So now we're going to bring these chopped up layers, and you can do a better job than I did. Take more time if it's worth it, And again, the subject matters a whole lot. The content, how clean it is to select elements, how good the shot is, exposure, and all that. Okay, but let's just work with what we have for right now for the technique. So I'm going to double click to import, and I have actually two options or two examples here. One of them is this one. This is a advertising marketing shot from DaVinci Resolve, and I chose it because it had a bunch of separate elements that are just kind of pasted on, close-ups of the interface, and then this woman on a editing, post-production kind of colorist setup with some things in the background, and I added this logo, this unequivocal logo from Resolve to there. So I'm going to bring that in, and I'm going to bring here in the Pink Floyd Purple Wonder as well. Both of these we're going to bring in as composition, retain layer sizes. So let me bring in this one first. And there are no layer styles, so I can just say yes or no. It doesn't really matter. And here's this one also, again, composition, retain layer sizes, and bring this in. Okay, so let's just look at these. So here's the Pink Floyd one. Here's the Pink Floyd comp that was created. Here's the Pink Floyd folder with the individual elements. If you open the comp, all your elements are in there. Let me zoom in. And now they're staged together in this example. Let me just go back a little bit. They're staged together. So somewhere here should be my second version of the guys. Maybe I'll turn that off. Here's the backdrop. Okay, so here's the musicians. And here's the backdrop. And where's the crowd? I guess that was the crowd. That is the crowd. Okay, there's the crowd. All right, so you get the idea. I think everything except for the last two. Now, we might run into issues with the holes in this. With what that I mean, like right here, generally you want to fill in this hole where these two musicians are. We'll see what happens with these extra layers that I have here. If I can make that work in some way. For right now, I just want to use this as an example of separating these layers. So let me turn this one on. I'm going to actually get rid of this one because it's confusing otherwise. So here's everything that I've separated. Audience, left, right, masks or faces, musicians, and then a big block up here. Okay, so we're going to go and turn these on. I'm going to leave the two bottom layers out of this for right now. Those are kind of backup layers. And these are all 3D. Actually, might as well include those even if they're not turned on. Okay, switch over to two views. Right now, everything is together. I believe this is my audience. And so I'm going to click on, this is also good where you click here and say audience. So you can be less, unsure. All right, so here's the audience, and I'm going to just kind of, I pulled this forward to stage it in the Z axis, and now it needs to go up. So where's my Y? There's my Y, other direction, And we'll see how we deal with this, the duplication of the audience on the layer. This is where I really should have prepped it better in Photoshop, but I'm just going to show this. Look, it looks like a great audience. There's lots and lots of people. They're all freaking out. That's great. This is what the whole shot looks like now. And here's my one shot. So then let's go with this next one. I believe these are the musicians. No, this is the mask. Okay, so let's stage this. And we're going to stage this over here and bring it forward. And then let's also increase the size. I'm going to do this. So you can do this from these gizmos and these square parts. This is the new thing. This is the new thing about these square parts of the gizmo allow you to do scale, or you can even click up here. And now the gizmo looks different because everything you do here now will influence scale, But honestly, I am not comfortable with that yet because I don't know. I'm just stretching in the various dimensions, which is what I want to do. So I guess it's looking okay. But I'm going to go here instead. This is layer 4. I'm going to call this left mask or head. I know what it is, but I want to be clear, I guess. Left head. And then I'm going to go in here and hit S for scale. And then I'm just going to bring it up so it covers up that scale in the back. So I'm at 136, not that that really matters that much. And then I'm going to reposition a little bit to be in front of that. So here's my first layer. Here's my left head layer. And I'm going to even go up more. And we'll just make it, and then maybe we'll bring it down also. So I'm just rearranging these things. Oops, I don't want to do scale. So let me flip away from scale back to universal so I can do movement again and sync this into the crowd a little bit. And we'll go to the next one. All right, looks like that is the right side here. So we change that to our head, and increase the scale there too. I think I had about 150, and I'm doing it in all different directions. And we're gonna sync this one. What if we set? I guess. Maybe do it a little bit more. 150 is what I had, 175. And then do this one a little bit bigger. And then they're kind of in conversation with each other. All right, and this one is now not pulled forward yet, so let me do that. It's still back on this 0 line. This point of origin is Joey had pointed out, which is great. And I don't want to turn it, I just want to bring it out, but I have to have that x-axis, so I want to keep those other things hid. We might see them when the camera swivels around, we'll see. And then this one is this circle that I kind of separated, and we might end up putting a mask on there or something like that. But right now we have this, and I think we're going to push this back, and then the layer below that is the musicians. We'll keep them where they are, but then the layer below that is, I think, everything, and we're going to move that back. So maybe let's start with that. I'm going to go there, move this back. There you can kind of see it receding into the background, and we'll move it even further back, but we are going to increase its scale. Do something like that. And this is rough. I'm just kind of riffing as I go. Increase the scale on that a little bit too. And they're on top of each other. Okay, let's make these musicians a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is what we have right now, so it's a little bit different. My biggest problem is I think these recognizable, shapes. So maybe I'll just make that to be a benefit and say that there's multiple of these. Behind the audience, towards the stage. There we go. Then it looks like Easter Island. Haha. Okay, so this is our view. I can for right now, I can get rid of this 2 view and just have this 1 view. All right, this is what I've ended up with all of my layers. Let's just quickly go through them. This is the background. Ground. That's my background. This is my musicians. And then this one is my circle, top circle. All right, cool. We got that in. So let's make this pop a little bit. We'll bring back one of those second views, but for right now, I'm just going to look at what this looks like if I add a camera. So I'm going to select all and twirl up so that this is a little bit more compact, and I am going to add a camera. So view, and we'll see where this is create camera from 3D view. I think that will do it. So that keeps my camera on here. If I switch this view from active camera just to see where the camera is, you can see that the camera is focused on the middle of the stage at that point of origin that we had, and that's great. This line here, this anchor point-like seeming thing, is the point of interest. So that's what it's stuck to the center of things, which is really great because I want it to be focused on my musicians. Let me turn this back to active camera and circle in here a little bit. So now, without referring to the other views, top or custom view or anything like that, you can animate this with the camera tools. So these up here, orbit, push in and out, pan around cursor it's called, but XY tool or a Z tool. And you change between them by hitting C. So this was the camera tools. I don't know if they're still called that, but if I do C, and I can see that from the icon, this is a orbit tool. Here, let me drag this out, have the camera go all the way to the beginning and start from there. Then I can now move this entire stage, and everything is in, like that with the audience or whatever. Everything is in view, and I can see my staging of this being separated. Now, Easy does it with these. So like if I move my camera over, for example, for a starting point and say, hey, I want to start off from, let's say from the side, I'll try this. I can hit P to start recording my keyframes, and then over a few frames, over a second, let's say, I'm going to dolly. I'm going to track over, and I want to be keeping the audience in there, and at the same time I want to, on that same keyframe, I want to kind of pivot, swivel a little bit around and get this view. So let's see what this looks like. Oops. Let me purge my memory here for a second. 16 gigs. Should have enough memory. Let me try here. And yeah, sorry guys. It looks like I can't do a real-time preview with this in 2020. But if I do, if I drag it out, you know, I get this kind of dolly, sideways dolly, and then, you know, this look, which I'm not really crazy about. So let me go, let me erase that again and do something else. I'm gonna undo. Huh. Fine. We'll just start here. Get rid of those keyframes. We'll just reset. Okay, there we go. We are reset. Hey, reset. Creep. Fine. This camera is being difficult, so what we're going to do is just take the camera and delete it. Boom. Bye, camera. And then we're going to do another one. So let's try it from this place right here, just in the timeline. Right click. New. Camera. And look at this dialog for a second. So what we are going to get is a 2-node camera. That's one with a position of interest. And this says custom. Let's do something like 80, so a little bit tele. I think it doesn't give a preview of what you're going to look at, but it's not too much. And then we're going to just say okay. Okay, so I pushed in a little bit. You saw that. Let's maybe just try for comparison one that is much more a wide angle, like at 24. All right, so that's what we get there. So if I have, that's the wide angle, that's the telephoto. I'm actually going to go and add a final camera and just make it 35. All right, and then, actually, let me change it to 35 to 55. So I'm just going to click on the layer and then choose 50. Wow, why is that so close? That's weird. Huh. All right. New camera. Yeah, 50 seems good. Okay, cool. Now it's fine. I guess it was interacting with the other cameras below. It was changing the field of view. But this is fine. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to animate that again, but I'm going to stay in this central location. Maybe what I'll do is, first of all, bring up two views. So we have the top view, and let's see if we focus on those elements in the back. So I am going to go position, stage this a little bit because I'm going to come forward. And then put my position of interest on the two musicians. Now, I need to somehow include more in my shot, the audience and things like that. So maybe what I'll do is I'll arrive at this point. So let's go here and make a position, and then we'll start out just zoomed out more and arrive at that. So C, orbit, C, X, Y, C, and then this is the come here. So I'm just trying to pull back here. All right, now I have this framing, and let's do C for orbit and move around a little bit. I don't want to give away these layers as much as I can help it. All right, so this would be my starting frame 0, and then from here I start to move in over the audience, and now I'm at my second keyframe. And then what we're going to do is move closer in on these musicians, and so we're going to do that with the Z tool. Actually, yeah, Z and XY. So first Z, and then XY, other direction. I'm not going to move XY as much as I'm going to move with the orbit tool. C, there we go. And kind of come up to here. Okay, so this is what it is. We start after here. Here's an issue. We'll fix this by moving, I guess, the face back or forward. What is this? The right head. All right, let's see if we can move this. No, that's the right head. This is the left head. Move this. Maybe just forcing it, because these aren't in motion. It's just the camera. So something like that. Let's see what happens if we keep that here. We move past it towards the stage. Over to the right. And we just keep going. We could have stopped there for a little bit, but this is it. We're coming down from underneath. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied with that for a demo. That's good. I'm going to do N, and I'm going to render this out, and then we're good. All right.